I never thought a routine reconnaissance mission could change my life, or the fate of the galaxy. Yet here I was, standing on the bridge of the Aurora Veil, a starship barely holding together after weeks of skimming the edges of uncharted space. The mission had been simple: scout the outer rim, collect data on alien life forms, and return without incident. Simple, routine, safe. But safety, I realized, was a myth. The alien planet we were orbiting, designated Zyphra 9, had a reputation. Reports from previous probes suggested strange electromagnetic anomalies and the occasional signal that mimicked human speech. My team, all seasoned xenobiologists and exotechnicians, had been eager for this mission.
Me?
I was just trying to keep my anxiety under control while pretending I belonged. The surface below glimmered like a shattered mirror. Mountains of crystalline formations caught the starlight, refracting it into colors our sensors couldn't fully record. I stared through the viewport, mesmerized, when Lieutenant Varen nudged me. "Commander, we've got something," he said, pointing to the scanners. "Life forms. But they're not moving like anything we've cataloged." I frowned. "Show me." The holomap flickered to life. Hundreds of tiny, geometric shapes hovered above the crystal valleys. They rotated in patterns that didn't seem random, but they weren't moving organically, either. My stomach twisted. "These are intelligent," I whispered. "Or, at least, semi-intelligent. But they're not sentient, right?" Varen shook his head.
"Hard to say.
"They respond to us, but only when we transmit signals. I think they're listening." Listening. The word sent a shiver down my spine. Somehow, these forms weren't just alive. They were aware. I decided to lead a small ground team. Myself, Varen, and Dr. Kiara, our xenobiologist. We descended in the shuttle, the engines whining as we pierced Zyphra's thin atmosphere. The crystals below refracted our lights, creating kaleidoscopic illusions that disoriented even the seasoned crew. When we touched down, the air felt heavy and charged, like walking inside a storm. Our sensors flickered. Communications went static. "This doesn't feel right," Kiara said. Her voice trembled. "It's sentient. The planet itself feels aware." I laughed nervously. "The planet's aware? That's poetic, Kiara. But..." Then I saw her. She emerged from the crystalline formations like a shard of light, humanoid but impossible. Her skin glimmered with the same refractive colors as the planet's surface. Her eyes were dark pools, reflecting a cosmos I couldn't begin to understand. And she was pointing directly at me. I froze. Every instinct screamed to retreat, but my body refused. She's communicating," Kiara whispered. "I can feel it in my mind." The figure tilted her head, then said words that didn't echo but somehow entered my consciousness directly. "I know who you are." I stumbled. "What, how?" She smiled faintly. "I've seen you before. Not here, not in this life. But you exist in more than one pattern. You are here now, but you are elsewhere, too. And you carry a choice." I blinked, trying to make sense of it. "A choice? What choice?" She gestured toward the mountains. As she did, the crystal valleys beneath us shifted. Patterns emerged, maps, coordinates, symbols I couldn't decipher. "This world," she said, voice soft but resonant in my mind, "can give you power beyond understanding. But it exacts a cost. You will either become its guardian or its prisoner." I swallowed hard. "I'm a starship commander, not some guardian of alien crystal magic." Her eyes seemed to pierce me. "You will choose regardless. And I will remind you." Before I could respond, the wind, or what passed for wind here, rose. The crystal structures vibrated in harmonic tones. My helmet crackled. My thoughts tangled with hers. Images flashed. My team in danger. Entire worlds devastated. Timelines that twisted upon themselves. Varen grabbed my arm. Commander, step back. I obeyed, stumbling, but I couldn't shake her gaze. Every fiber of my being felt exposed. Then suddenly she stepped closer and whispered, not into my helmet, but into my mind. Trust yourself, or everything collapses. And then she pointed again, more insistently this time, and said something I didn't expect. Do not fight what is already yours. I froze. Those words, they weren't just a command. They were a key. Somehow I understood. The power she spoke of wasn't external, it was inside me. Every choice I'd ever made, every risk I'd taken, every victory and failure had prepared me for this moment. I looked at Varen and Kiara. They stared at me, confused. What did she say? Kiara asked. I took a deep breath. She said not to fight what's already mine. Neither of them responded. And in that silence, I felt something shift. Energy surged through me, connecting me to the Crystal Valley, to the patterns, to the planet itself. I could hear thoughts, not hers, not mine, but the collective consciousness of the world. It was alive, and it had been waiting. I realized, with a shiver, that the life forms Varen had detected weren't just observing. They were conduits. Each shape, each rotation, each vibration was a channel through which the planet communicated. And through her I was now linked. Kiara gasped. Commander, you're controlling it. I looked down at my hands. They shimmered faintly, the crystalline energy responding to my will. I tested a small motion. The valleys beneath our feet shifted. Structures moved. The shapes danced. It's incredible, I whispered. I can shape it. But why me? Her voice echoed in my mind again. Because you are willing. Others resist. You accept. That makes all the difference. I felt a surge of confidence. And for the first time, I understood the responsibility she had hinted at. I could wield this power to protect the galaxy, or let it destroy everything I cared about. The air shivered. The planet seemed to pulse with life, aware of my acceptance. The geometric life forms rotated in intricate dances of color and light. I felt connected, aware, infinite. Varen and Kiara stared, awestruck. I could see their minds racing, trying to comprehend what they were witnessing. Commander, Varen said, voice trembling, what now? I took a deep breath, letting the energy course through me. Now we become the guardians. And we learn. The figure nodded faintly, her form shimmering and blending with the crystals. Then, without warning, she dissolved into light, leaving only her message and the link she had forged. We spent the next hours exploring the planet, learning to interact with it, coaxing patterns, discovering that each crystal valley held memory, wisdom, and warnings of civilizations long gone. I realized that our mission had transformed. We were no longer simple scouts. We were keepers of knowledge that could reshape interstellar politics, technology, even the evolution of life. Days passed. We recorded everything, cautious to respect the planet's will. Each night, I returned to the same thought. Her words, do not fight what is already yours. And it wasn't just about power. It was about responsibility, acceptance, and courage. I had been given a choice, and I had chosen not fear, but stewardship. Weeks later, when we finally transmitted our findings back to the Galactic Council, we were careful. We didn't reveal the full extent of what we had learned. Some knowledge, we realized, was too potent, too dangerous for immediate exposure. But the Council sensed the shift in me. Our reports hinted at discoveries beyond imagination. And that, I realized, was the true gift of the figure on Zyphra 9, Understanding that power is meaningless without wisdom and that the right choice isn't always obvious, but it can be found by trusting yourself. As we departed the planet, the crystal valleys reflecting starlight like a mirror to infinity, I felt her presence one last time, a whisper in my mind, soft and resonant. "You are ready." I smiled. "Yes," I whispered. "I am ready." And for the first time in my life, I knew I wasn't just a commander. I was a guardian.